We're talking hockey. Shipley and Maroldo talking hockey. Carey Price to the cup.
You son of a bitch. Best intro in the game despite you trying to ruin it and slander it. This is That's Hockey Talk. Welcome. That intro was done beautifully, of course, by our pal. The pal's our northern friend at Bubba Gumpino. Gumpy, how you doing?
Beautiful night for another Habs victory, my friend.
Gumpy has become the biggest Montreal Canadiens fan. I just don't get it. Joining us again, of course, as always, over on the West Coast, our Super Bowl champion, our resident football and hockey expert, AQ Shipley. AQ, how you doing, buddy?
Great, guys. Let's get this thing rolling.
Let's get it rolling indeed. And I am your host, of course, Nick Moraldo. Special episode because joining us here in a few minutes, we have the one and only Sports Rage himself on Twitter at Sports Rage, Gabriel Morency. And if you don't know who Gabe is, you will shortly, and you will love this man, I promise. He does a radio show on Sports Grid. He's very active and very vocal on Twitter. He's been doing it for 20 years. Former minor league goalie from Montreal. Not just an Habs fan, though, not just a homer. We'll chat with him shortly here in a little bit. Before we get to Gabe, though, just want to talk with you guys about NHL Draft Lottery was on Wednesday, and it seems like things finally went the right way. We didn't see the changes that the league implemented seemed to work. We didn't get a huge jump from some team that didn't deserve, that finished in like 14th or 13th. We didn't see that. The Buffalo Sabres, who had one of the worst seasons in recent memory, just not even in terms of play on the ice, but just everything all over the organization, just a lot of stink on that org, and they get the first overall pick. Now, granted, it tends to be this year is the deeper draft year where there doesn't seem to be a consensus overall pick, but everyone thinks it's going to be the Owen Power kid out of Michigan, defenseman. So good news for Buffalo, I guess, in the sense that they finally win something, and the Taylor Hall effect is still a thing. You know, this was his most recent team, and here he is again. The team that he plays for gets the lottery pick. And the Seattle Kraken jump up to number 2, so they're going to get a really good player. They were guaranteed to pick no worse than 5, I believe. So welcome to the league, Seattle Kraken. They're officially in and can start making moves now. We get the expansion draft coming up that we'll cover here shortly. Guys, you guys feel good about what happened in the lottery? The Red Wings still picking at 6th. Again, they seem to get the short end of the stick every year, but we feel good about Buffalo. We feel like justice was served.
Yeah, Red Wings tried to ruin hockey. That's why we have the salary cap. I mean, no one wants to talk about that, but they get what they get. I mean, the Red Wings stink, so they should.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the one thing I hate about lotteries, because you get this. I think the worst team should always get the first pick. I mean, that's just obviously. Yeah. No bias that I play in a league where that's the way it operates, but you know, it is what it is. We understand the lotteries and we understand the nature of the lottery and that you can get this thing, but it does make you feel good whenever the worst team gets the first pick. I mean, that's the way things should always work out, I feel, and that's the way it did.
Yeah, and they recently had it as 2018 when they picked Rasmus Dahlin first overall. So good on Buffalo for making that happen. Let's get to it right now. We'll call our guests here. Joining us now, a legendary voice in sports media and the sports radio world. He's on Channel 204, Sirius XM. He's doing Game Time Decisions with the Raging Redhead Cam. He's been doing Sports Rage for 20 years. He was in a heavy metal band back in the day. Former minor league goalie. This man has done it all. He's seen a lot of things. He is an avid sports gambler and one of our favorites here. He's jumped on Hammer Down with us. He's done the Pat McAfee show. Now he's coming on That's Hockey Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, Gabriel Morency. Gabe, how you doing?
Hey, great to be with you guys. So this isn't, there's no Gino Reda here. This is real hockey talk.
This is real hockey talk. This is old school. We're
what a pull. What a pull. It's the most Canadian pull of all time, Morency.
Yeah, you like that?
I love it.
Show's a nice guy.
I love it.
Guy. But yeah, this show's not brought to you by Tim Hortons.
No, this is very states friendly. We're pro America here, and we do down talk the Canadians, so that's why we wanted to give you on and give you guys a fair chance, because Gumpy doesn't always do the best job of representing Canada.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
not fucking around. Look at this. Like,
you're all in.
Hat, and I'm wearing a Team France.
Oh, get out of here, dude.
Ready for the Euro, plus 500. I'm telling you. Put a dime on that, you'll have 5K. Take your girlfriend on a nice vacation this summer after that. Yeah, I figured I'd just go all out, right? I actually just bought this hat, and I just bought this stuff this morning. and I was walking the streets, like looking for Winnipeg Jet fans to fight, like in person after fighting them on Twitter all day. God, these guys are dumbasses.
Hey, let's get right into it because the big talk this week was the Mark Scheifele hit on Jake Evans, the subsequent suspension. He gets suspended for 4 games, which if you follow along with the pinwheel, that is the NHL Department of Player Safety, 4 games in the playoffs is the equivalent to 8 games in the regular season. So pretty hefty suspension for what they've been known to hand out lately. How do you feel about it? How did you feel about the hit? Do you think the suspension was enough? You are obviously a noted Habs fan, but you've got some objectivity. You know what's right and what's wrong.
I do. Listen, this is coming from someone that thinks that Tom Bertuzzi got a bad rap. You think he meant to break that guy's neck? No. He tapped him. He pulled him down. It was 1 in a million. I actually think Marty McSorley and Brashear was a little overrated. He tapped him on the head with a stick a bit. He didn't like whack him. He tapped him. He said, "Let's go." Right? So to me, you know what I mean? I'm old school. I was like a dirty ass goalie, man. Like I loved Billy Smith as a kid, New York Islanders. Like I used to actually practice in my backyard with my stick, like jabbing trees, like
carving them up,
like calf, like in the back. Like I was like an Olympic fucking archer, man. I could slash you in the calf, man. Like cut you up. You wouldn't even see it coming. I was so good. Like I practiced that more than stopping pucks. I used to like box with like the blocker on in my backyard. I'm like, I'm like, I got to be ready, man. I got to be ready. So I'm all for tough hockey. That was a Bush League garbage motherfucking move that he pulled. All right, he went 190 feet. If he wanted to play the puck, he would have dove for the puck. Right? It was like, it was like 3.5 seconds, and I'm sick of people talking about it was a split-second decision. It was a fucking 4.5 second decision. He was barreling in, and when he got to around the circle, he saw, all right, he scored, but he decided in the heat of the moment, I'm going to murder the dude.
Yep.
And he did. So good for you, Scheifele. And now, Scheifele's family's getting harassed online, and it's not right. Well, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be fucking concussing 25-year-old kids on their birthday, jackass. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about how Mark Scheifele. You know what? He said, I played 605 games in the NHL. I've never been ever been accused of charging anyone before. Well, O.J. Simpson was never accused of murdering anyone before either, right? So I don't give a shit. He's a nice guy. Prisons are full of nice guys who didn't mean to do what they did. Fuck him. I hope they get swept. And you know what? I don't know what more to say besides the best. Only thing they can do is win on the ice, but I can't lie. I'm concerned about the actual game itself, though.
So a lot to unpack there, but I will say one thing I really agree with you on is Scheifele, he came flying from the other end. He came from the other goal line, and he realized he was not going to be able to stop Evans from scoring, and he made that decision. All right, I'm not going to be able to stop him. I'm going to smoke him. Like he didn't try and play the stuff.
Right?
Yeah,
he could have said, at the last second. You know what I mean? Listen, it's like running a pedestrian over. I'm sure it's crossed everyone's mind, but you don't do it, right? You think, you know what? I'd like to run this jackass over. Then you think, it's probably not a good idea. Scheifele just never got to that not a good idea part.
Yeah, and then there's the whole community online that we're softening the game, we're making the game soft. I disagree. Yeah. I mean, I think there are specific acts that require specific specific sentences and specific situations. Like we always say, we always joke, situations are situational. This is one of them.
Yeah, he gets
killed for that.
He gets fucking ragdolled and fucking shoved into the ice. And the thing about it, he's complaining about 4 games. Paul Maurice, come out, apologize. Don't do what you did. Scheifele, come out, say I shouldn't have done it. It would have been 2 fucking games, but you guys couldn't do it. You couldn't apologize. You said it was fine, and you got 4 games, so live with it.
I think 2 was the right call. I think 2 would have sufficed. 4 is heavy, but if they're going to do this moving forward, and they're going to stay consistent with it, I'm okay with 4. But you just got to keep that same standard because we see Tom Wilson gets nothing. Then we see Revo in the Vegas situation gets 2 for his situation with Graves. So it's like it's all over the place. It's like they just need to find some model consistency with it.
I called for 2 as well. At the time, I said, you know what, even if it was 1, but 2, I think 2 would have been good. But I think you're right, Gump. And they weren't you remember after the game, Paul Maurice said, yeah, I guess it depends on what flag you have on your car because people in Canada are nut jobs and all have like their flags on the car, right? So of the team. So And then he said, yeah. And you could tell Maurice was somewhat apologetic. And boom, next morning he was on. There was nothing dirty about it. I don't know. Like, they just changed their tack. There was no regret about it. And, you know, their argument is gone. And the thing is, too, you're right. There's a lot of people out there. Oh, it's soft. You're soft, Morency. The game is soft. In our day, I bet you these fuckheads that are saying that in their day are 22 years old, right? I bet you, like, in their day, and I tell you what, in your day, I used to practice motherfucking outside in, like, 1974, motherfucker. You want to talk about old school hockey? At 6 a.m, I was a goalie sitting there freezing my ass off. You want old school? I played outdoors, all right? I played outdoors. And I swear to God, I said it last night, man. All you motherfuckers out there, oh, it's soft. Keep your head up. They teach you that in Pee Wee. No, they don't. They don't teach you in Pee Wee that you're going to get your head knocked off 3 seconds after you put the puck in the net. They kick you out of Pee Wee. You never played in Pee Wee. Like they teach you that in Pee Wee. No, they don't. No, they don't teach you that, Pee Wee. I said the other day, I wish, man, we could expose people online, guys, because I said, I'll give you guys $50,000 if you can tell me the difference between what is a CCM Super Tack and what is a Bauer and what is a Sherwood. You wouldn't know the fucking difference between that, a toaster and a Pop-Tart. All right? And they're telling us about, the way hockey should be. Shut up.
Oh, well said, Gabe. I mean, it was beautifully summed up there. Gabe, also with us is our co-host, AQ Shipley, Super Bowl champion. He's a man who played in the NFL for 10 years. He knows something about banging heads together. AQ, what were your thoughts on the whole situation? We didn't get a chance to get you to chime in here yet.
Yeah, you know me. I mean, I'm all about hits in hockey. I think there's a part of the game that just the Tom Wilson illegal shit, this running guys down from, like you said, I mean, 4.5 second delay. I mean, you just can't have that. There's no place in the game for that. And, you know, I would like to see more consistency, like you said. I think we've been preaching that all year long, regardless of what the situation is. I think the NHL, the players want to see more consistency in how they call it, how they penalize it, how they suspend guys. I mean, whatever it is, I think that's the biggest issue that I think we're seeing across the board.
They're like politicians, the NHL. It's a great point. They wait and see which way the wind blows. Are people really upset about this? Are they forgetting about this? And we always know this in the NHL, where it's whacked out. It's the result, not the attempt. So, like, if you go on the street,
it's always optics, right?
Yeah. If you go on the street and you shoot at somebody, you pull out a gun and you shoot at them, and you miss them, in Gary Bettman's world, that's fine because you didn't hit him.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you tried to kill him, but you didn't. So it's okay. Right? But if you glazed them, you might get 17 games. If you glaze them, you might get 2, depending on who you are, what market is. You're right. There's no consistency whatsoever at all. And there never has been. This isn't new. There never has been consistency with the NHL and their discipline.
Gabe, there's 2 more things before we get to the other series I want to pick your brain on that are like the trending stories right now going through the league. Mitch Marner is on the hot seat in Toronto because he hasn't produced in 18 playoff games. He's got no goals. And they all, Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares, that group of forwards, they bow out again in the first round. High-ticket players who make a lot of money, and some of them aren't producing. Now Marner's come in the hot seat. Is he going to get moved? Do we think Toronto makes a move for him? It's like a bubble up there. You're a Montreal fan. You know what it's like. Is it the pressure getting to him? What's going on with Mitch Marner?
Yeah, I can't resist this one that Cole Caulfield actually won a playoff series before Marner and Austin Matthews did after being in the league for like a week. The Wisconsin Badgers. And how about that? J.J. Watt's on the Canadiens bandwagon right now.
Hard not to be
people tuning in, like out there, if you realize J.J. Watt, punch in just like J.J. Watt hockey, like elite prospects comes up and shit.
He's stud.
Like a little J.J. Watt when he's a kid, Wisconsin, traveling team, prep teams, you know what I mean? Kid played elite hockey. Like J.J. Watt played hockey. Doesn't because I saw what he's following the Badgers because the guy played for the Badgers. Really? He's that hardcore? It was like, no, J.J. Watt was like a good guy. I knew he played, but I didn't realize like he was good. Now, as far as Marner is concerned in the Leafs, it's interesting because Marner's father is one of these hockey dads. Like Marner's father is like in message boards and chat rooms and stuff on Reddit, ripping the coaching staff.
Oh,
my son, Nylander's a pussy. I could tell you stories about this. Like, he throws the fucking team under the bus all the time, the father, right? Everyone sucks. My son doesn't play enough. You guys don't know the story behind the scenes. It's the coaches. So Marner's got one of these hockey dads that's like meddlesome, and the kid doesn't produce, right? He's a good player. The pressure, I don't know the pressure in Toronto. The pressure in Toronto is not like the pressure of Montreal. It's not like the pressure of playing for Alabama. There's bigger pressure playing for the Alabama Crimson Tide than the Leafs. They kiss your ass. It's not pressure. They kiss your ass. So, yeah, there's a lot of people around, but they're not, like, punching you. They're not ripping you. It's not like New York. You know what I mean? It's not hostile. They're treated too nicely. Like the Toronto Maple Leaf players, win or lose, are going to get laid after the game. I'll cut to the chase here, right?
Yeah.
Like win or lose, they get treated like better than Stanley Cup champions do. I bet you there's guys on the Ducks that can't get a free fucking round of golf, right? Hey, I'm a Stanley Cup champion. Good for you, jackass. You know what I'm saying? You're Toronto Maple Leaf. Hey. So they're treated too nicely. I think you got to shake this thing up. It's not working with this core. And you look at Buffalo, guys, it just seems to be a natural fit, doesn't it? Hey, Marner, you think you're all that. You want to put up 100 points. You think you put up 100 points and everyone's in your way? Go to Buffalo and do it. And I think, Eichel, you got a chip on your shoulder. I don't even know if you're as good as you think you are, but let's find out. We're going to put you on a good team right now. Seems like it's a good fit, doesn't it, guys? Eichel,
I don't hate it.
It's hard to trade these type of big talents. You can actually, it's almost an equal deal. You got to throw some things in, obviously. I think Eichel's worth a little bit more than Marner is right now, but I don't think that's crazy talk right there.
I don't think it is either. At first you said it, I was like, oh, that's intriguing. Because I was thinking Seth Jones, because there's a guy with 1 year left. He has to sign a new deal. Already said he's not coming back to Columbus. He wants to test out the free agency waters. And Toronto defense wasn't necessarily their problem, but that's a good shakeup you could make to kind of rearrange that room and get a little bit of different voice and viewpoint in there and some stability.
Chemistry thing. Yeah, more than a hockey thing with this room, actually, almost.
Yeah, we saw the Penguins do it years ago when they got rid of James Neal, brought in Patrick Hornquist, and the attitude of the team shifted. They kind of followed Hornquist's lead, playing that more tougher hockey, going to the net and shit like that.
They tried. Look, ironically enough, man, Jason Spezza was their best player.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
And look at now, Eric Stahl, right? Like, you get these old dudes, man.
Corey Perry. Every fucking year, man, Corey Perry's team goes on a run. It's insane. He was so good for the Stars last year. He's doing the same for the Habs this year.
You're damn right.
One more thing I want to get your thoughts on here. Gretzky is now hired by Turner to be a studio analyst in the States. I think it's like a 5-year TV deal for $3 million a year. Gretzky, not one to hide from the limelight, but he's never been in this role before. He's never really been given his opinion all the time on TV. He said Charles Barkley helped talk him into the role. I assume because Charles works for Turner and they do the NBA show on Turner that has a lot of success. We've talked about it before. The NHL needs like a superstar player to be a voice because they tend to hire the goons and Ham and Eggers to be the voices on TV. I like them going this approach. I don't know if Gretzky is going to be the guy, though, because he's not necessarily the most interesting or exciting, even though he was arguably the best player of all time.
My two questions for this is, number one, did they actually do a pilot, a demo?
They did not.
You know what I mean? And number two, hey, Wayne, do you realize you're going to have an opinion on something right now? Listen, my uncle played with Wayne Gretzky. It's one of the coolest things. It's a tragic story almost in a sense because I'm a fucking idiot. But my uncle was Kurt Brackenberry. So he was on the Quebec Nordiques and the WHA and stuff, and they go into the NHL. He gets traded to the Edmonton Oilers. Who's a kid on the Oilers? Wayne Gretzky. All right? It was
That's
Wayne Gretzky's rookie year. So I'm a little goalie and stuff like that. And I actually go down to the Oilers Canadiens practice at the Montreal Forum, go on the ice, practice with them and stuff.
No shit.
All right? They're drilling shots at my head. My grandfather's a former player, and they're trying to take my head off as a kid. That's why I like people talk tough, right? I was literally 11 years old, getting pucks from NHLers drilled at my head, and my grandfather, he's just a kid, asshole. Yeah, he's just a kid. And all the Oilers are loving it. You know what's crazy, too? It's a weird thing. I would never forget this. I'm standing in the dressing room after, and Mark Messier comes up to me wearing just a towel, and he goes, hey, kid, I got drugs in my pocket, and I don't know what to do with them. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Who tells that? I never realized it was a popular song at the time, right? Remember the song? I got drugs in my pocket. I don't know what to do. But he actually, I remember, like, it's a memory you'll never forget. Mark Messier had a towel. He goes, hey, kid, I got drugs in my pocket. And I don't know what to do. He said, a towel. I'm thinking, wow, life in the NHL is wild, man. I'm a little kid, like, all wide-eyed. This is great, right? Fucking. So my uncle tells me after, there's a diner across the street from the Montreal Forum. Famous. All the rock stars, David Lee Roth, Van, like, everyone used to go there, right? So he tells me, all right, kid, after practice, go to the diner. He goes, I'm going to come over. And he goes, I'm going to bring a friend of mine, all right? I'm just a kid. I don't know. I'm sitting in a diner. He comes in with Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I had breakfast with Wayne Gretzky, all right? So I was like, Mr. Gretzky, you're trailing Marcel Dion by 2 points. And he's like, kid, I don't follow that stuff. Like, he goes, you know? And he was the nicest guy ever. Wayne Gretzky gives me a stick. Nice old fucking Titan stick, right?
Oh, yeah.
Gives me the Titan, signs it. You know what I did with it? I went to the park and I played outdoor shitty hockey with it. I broke it and I threw it in a fucking snowbank.
Gabe, what are you doing?
Thought I would get another one. That taught me a lesson in loss, to be a gambler. It's like, I lost the game. Don't worry, I fucking smashed the Wayne Gretzky stick once. It's worth like $15,000 now.
Oh, man. AQ, how do you feel about the great one jumping into the studio?
I just have never thought of him as like the ideal personality.
Yeah.
So I don't know where this is going to go. I mean, he's obviously going to be in an uncomfortable position. I feel like he's never had to be that big personality. He never was that big personality. He's always kind of soft spoken. It's just going to be, I don't know. I don't know if they're just going to use him to.
Yeah.
I'm
Canadian.
Right?
Let's just be real. You know what I mean? JR, you got to get these guys with opinions and you want to get on there. But all these guys eventually say something offensive, right? So they know Wayne won't say anything offensive. He's such an ambassador. I totally get it. We called it. You know, we got Coach Barry Melrose on our show. And, we were busting his balls a little bit. Like, Coach, is your former guy going to take your job? Like, we were like, oh, yeah, you know ESPN or someone's going to offer him a ton of money here, right?
Oh, yeah. ESPN tried.
Yeah, exactly. So, and as you say, he's buddies with Chuck. Maybe he'll surprise us all, but
I don't see it, man. He was
I
terrible.
don't see it either.
He was
The dude's
terrible.
62
He was
years
terrible as a coach. Like, I don't know if it came out, but Shane Doan said that he was the worst coach he ever had. Like, his whole life. Like, not just the NHL. Like, his whole life. Wayne Gretzky was the worst coach he ever. So, I mean, he's not. It's going to be a tough sell, man. It really is. Just, I know he was the greatest, whatever, but
You would have sent a message, though, that they don't care about, I don't want to say this about the great one, but they don't care about the quality of their show almost, right?
Yeah.
Or like, what are we doing? Yeah, you signed the biggest name out there. Good for you. Doesn't mean that he's gonna give you look at your TNT NBA show. You guys win Emmys.
Yeah.
You guys talk about real life shit after basketball games and people love it, right? And now what? You're gonna go from that like real cutting edge stuff to Wayne Gretzky?
The only way I can see it, Gabe, is if it's them trying to sell the game to people that don't know hockey that well.
Yes,
and they're
that's
going,
the thing.
we got Wayne. Like, us who know hockey know what Wayne is like. People who don't might not, so it might work for that part of it.
I think it depends who they surround him with too, right? Because if you just throw you put Keith Jones in there again, like, I don't think that's going to work. I think you need a little bit more than, and I'm not dogging Keith Jones by any means. I actually like his analysis, but like, I think you're going to need a little bit more than Keith. I think you're going to need some other superstar players.
Kyprios, dude. I love Nick Kyprios.
Kipper's
dude.
great.
I love Kipper.
Nick Kyprios is really good. I'm a big fan of, actually, I don't know if you guys have got an opportunity to see him, but
Yeah, we saw him all banged up at 2 p.m. at some pub in Toronto.
Yeah, we did.
I was going to say, Kevin Bieksa doing a great job. This guy, star in the making. If I'm ESPN, I don't know how he isn't already hired, to be honest.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we miss out on here in the States.
And if you didn't,
he's got the looks.
You wouldn't.
He's edgy.
Yeah.
He's young. You know what I mean? He looks like someone that could be on. You know what I mean? He's got the and he's not afraid to give you his opinion. He was a tough guy when he played. You can respect his opinion. He's doing a great job. And you guys know, Gump. You guys know, like in Canada, you talk about like Keith Jones and stuff. And poor Craig Button fucking said that the Leafs are going to sweep the Habs. people are throwing eggs at his house because they're so used to, like, look at like Bob McKenzie, right? Gump, like a legend, Bob McKenzie. Guy knows everything about everything. He can tell you the real deal about everything going behind the scenes. You get him on the air. Well, if this team plays well and their power play scores, they'll do well. But if the other team shows up and the other thing, well, it's going to be a great game. Chuck, back to you. It's like, you didn't fucking tell me anything. Like, he used to drive me crazy.
John Madden.
Like, Red in Montreal was an old journalist. May rest in peace. He covered the team for like fucking 50, 60 years. And they were like, man, Red knows everything about everything. He knows like what the owner's having for dinner. I'm like, well, he never fucking writes it in his columns. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys know it. We all know this in the hockey stuff. In any other sport, if an athlete is like living a crazy life and doing stupid stuff and banging a 15-year-old like babysitter, they bust them for it. The NHL, it's the old sweep it. Like, every NHL media guy knows so many bad things about people in the NHL, but they're good old boys because they wear suits. It's the Don Cherry. Look at him. Got the gel in the hair. You got the suit. He's a good guy. Right? They're not all good guys.
No. How can you be?
Yeah, well, look at what just happened with fucking Ron McLean, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That did nobody, what happened there? Like, nobody talked about that at all?
Ron, that's the thing. Ron's been doing this for years. That's my deal with Ron McLean is
he threw Don Cherry under the rug. He buried him.
He's everything, right?
Yeah.
When Ron McLean's on the Olympics and he's Mr. Social and it's all great and everything's great, but then when he's somewhere else, he's got the dark edge hockey humor, right? But he never owns it. Oh, it wasn't me. It was like you said, he threw Don, and I tell you what. Some of his comments have been like a little edgier than Don's. Don said you people. He was bitching about people wearing a poppy, right? And Don was. Let's be real. They did Don a favor though. Before Don did something really bad, because he was going to say something, right? You people wasn't that bad. Like, he didn't mean it. It wasn't like racial or anything. He just meant all you people suck. You pinko commies.
Gabe, I know you got to run soon, so I want to get through these other series with you real quick and just get your thoughts on what's going on. Carolina and Tampa Bay. We thought Tampa Bay was just going to sweep them, run away with it maybe. Now Carolina's climbed back in. Do they have a shot to win this?
Yeah, I think they do. Our boy Cam's been on Carolina every damn game in the playoffs. And, man, he was heartbroken after the first two. I'm kind of kicking myself. I should have known. I didn't go big on Tampa in game 3, but should have been known that, Carolina was going to throw the sink at them. I still think Tampa's going to get through this series. Boston, I do believe, will grind their way through, man. And every game is probably going to go to overtime. Yeah. Right? And when we were on Pat's show yesterday, we talked. I like the Bruins. Right? Oh, the crowd in Nassau is going to be crazy. Well, they were crazy watching their team lose.
Did you see what Tuukka Rask said?
No.
He said it was loud, but I don't think it was anything louder than back home. I didn't have any issues hearing anything.
So there you go. He's like, suck it, New York. Right? But I even like the Bruins. I'm wearing a Habs here, right, guys? But I do think Boston's going to win that series. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Like, they're never going to run away with it. All these games are going to be ugly. I don't know if it goes 7. I'll say Boston in 6 with a bunch of 1-goal overtime type of games. I do think Tampa will get by. And Tampa and Boston is going to be a hell of a series. But I'm going to go with Tampa to get to the Cup. And I really don't want to be that guy to just give this to Colorado. So you know what? Why not? I got nothing to lose. Montreal beats the Jets. And then we're going to knock off the motherfucking former Northeast.
Let's fucking go!
Roll into the Cup. Woo! 1993, man. Nobody thought they were going to win. Oh, you're not going to get past them. You got Mario Lemieux over there. Mario's Nate McKinnon. Hey, who knows? There are ruts in the ice, guys. Whoa.
Oh, man.
The Avs are unbelievable, though.
They're so good.
Flying, dude.
Does Vegas have any shot now?
They're done.
Why'd they start Leonard?
Because he didn't play since May 10th. They gave us all that. They were worried. They needed him to be fresh. They thought it was a good spot. I could sort of live with that if the season didn't start with Marc-Andre Fleury's agent fucking posting a gif of like a sword through his back. Right? Yeah. Let's be real. Yeah. The board, it's almost got that like Rob Johnson, Doug Flutie thing to it.
Yeah.
Like the better Marc-Andre Fleury plays, the more they want Leonard to play.
I don't get it.
Guys, this happened last year too. They've been Yeah, but we don't know. We got 2 goalies. No, you got one guy that's the face of your fucking franchise. All right? And if you don't like him, then let him go. But this isn't new. That's why I would say, all right, coaching decision, it is what it is. It was a bad coaching decision. You notice the Canadians didn't start Jake Allen in game 1 right? Against the Jets. But if you notice, DeBoer seems to like Leonard a lot, and he seems to be trying to do this. This isn't new. It's not the first time they fucked with him.
Yeah, that's what I hate about it, too, because we're Penguins fans. AQ and I are from Pittsburgh. We're Penguins fans. And people compare it to what Fleury went through in Pittsburgh, and they say it's unfair. Like, listen, Fleury got outplayed in Pittsburgh. Matt Murray took his job
in Vegas. He wasn't the same goalie at the end of Pittsburgh. You're right.
No, he got a fresh start in Vegas. He turned his career around, and he has outplayed Leonard. And Leonard's a good goalie. He's no slouch. Like, he can play too. But this season, Fleury was the guy. He's a Vezina finalist. He carried them. He as good of a team as he had in front of him. He carried them. And I think we all know when you're in the playoffs and you got a hot goalie, even if he's not playing his absolute best, but you're still winning, you don't change. I didn't see it. I didn't care for the rest ideology. It was like, I mean, you got to ride the guy.
Marc-Andre Fleury, his entire career has been, he's had people up his ass his entire career, guys. And it all started in the World Junior Championship.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? He was the goalie of Team Canada.
That turnover.
In the old days, Canada used to actually win all the time. Now they don't. But they used to. They'd be fucking pissed if they didn't. And exactly, he pulled like he pulled a Jerry.
Yep.
Said bring up the Penguins. Sorry, but similar situation.
Sorry. Yeah, fuck him.
Sorry. Jesus. It was similar type of thing.
I'm fucking having
it was
heart
like an
palpitations
overtime,
when you
a gold medal game type shit too, like championship. Puck bounced in the zone. He tried to clear it. He shot it into his own defenseman, and it bounced off into the net. And ever since then, fucking Marc-Andre Fleury. And you know what? He didn't get credit in Pittsburgh, and then they would blame him after when they didn't win.
Yeah.
His whole career, he's never really been fully respected until he's been in Vegas, actually, I think, fully.
It got into a lot of new perspective for a lot of new people, including myself on him, because it's like you don't know what you have till it's gone. But I still bang the drum that any GM in the league would have made the same decision when you have a younger 2-time Cup winner, Matt Murray, who's going to be less expensive. We all didn't know what Murray would forget how to use his glove hand, but that's another story. But Gabe, I know you got to run and do your show. Thank you so much for joining us, brother. Really appreciate it. Got to have you back on here sometime, talk some more puck with us.
Yeah, we'll get you guys on next week as these series go on. Shout out from Cam. Always a pleasure, guys. Let's do this thing.
Shout out, Gabe.
Thanks, Gabe.
Follow along with on Twitter at Sports Rage, and check him out on Sports Grid Radio, channel 204 on Sirius XM. Appreciate you, Gabe.
Love you guys. Thanks, bro.
Cheers, buddy.
Hope you enjoyed that shot of espresso, that shot of electricity in your veins. That was Gabe Morency, Gabe's legend in Canada. AQ, that was your first time experiencing Gabe. What'd you think, man?
I'm pretty sure we're best friends now. I mean, that was unbelievable. I'm sitting there. I was like sitting there like feeling like I wanted to run through a wall when this guy's talking. I'm like, I wish this guy was my coach somewhere. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Dude, he's got the juice, man. He starts a show every night at fucking midnight. Like, he's fucking insane.
He's all go all the time. I love it. We'll wrap it up here real quick, though. Agree, disagree with anything Gabe said with these series? I know, AQ, you're still pulling hard for the Lightning. That's still your team. Do you think, are you worried about that overtime loss now?
No, not one bit. He said Carolina has a chance. They have no fucking chance. Right? They got no chance. They get lucky. Aho throws some fucking wish at the goal, and Jordan Stahl, his luck continues because he's
playing a hell of a fucking playoff.
He's unbelievable now. It's like this guy hasn't had anything going since he left Pittsburgh. Now all of a sudden, 9 years into his 50-year deal, he's back.
That was a dog shit penalty call too, man.
We've seen a couple of those lately.
That call, man, that was so bad.
The Vegas Colorado one, and then there was one the other night. It wasn't in overtime; it was right before overtime, I think, or maybe it wasn't overtime. I can't remember. In Boston, in the Islanders, Sean Corrali got called for a cross check, and I think it was because Pelech right next to him got tripped. They didn't call that, and then Corrali fully extended, hit Palmieri into the boards, and I think they were like, shit, there's two back to back. We got to call one of them. The officiating hasn't been great, but I still think it's been better than in years past in the playoffs. I mean, it's playoffs. You're always going to bitch about officiating, always. But we talked about with Morency at the beginning there, with the suspensions and whatnot, a little more consistency is what we like to see. Just either if you're not going to call it in the first, don't call it in the third, vice versa, everything like that. Vegas and Colorado, AQ, we still feeling the same way as with your picks initially, or have you waffled it all there?
It's over. It's a wrap.
Sweet.
Sweep.
Sweet.
It's
over.
I think
Got to be Vegas has to win tonight. I mean, if they're going to win a game, it'll be like the Hurricanes last night. Tonight will be the one Vegas gets.
Boy, it's brutal. It's brutal to watch what Colorado's doing. But I respect the hell out of it. Like McKinnon looks, it's like he started out, it was like last year, I think he had that unbelievable run, comes in this year and he's still playing great, but it's somewhat under the radar despite how good the team is doing. No one's really talking about him. And then the playoffs here and he's just like, fuck it, I'm turning it up to 12. And it's like he's scoring a goal every night. He's chopping up the ice. He's fun to watch. He's flying, and he's a big boy too. He's not getting pushed around like everyone else we've seen, because we worried like, you lose Ovechkin, you lose Crosby, you lose McDavid and Draisaitl, then you lose the Leafs. That's a lot of star power. Say what you want about the Leafs, but it's a lot of star power and a lot of eyeballs off of the game. But right now, like, a lot of people may not know, casual fans may not know who Nathan McKinnon is. At this point, right now, with the way things are going, he's appointment viewing. You got to watch these Colorado and Vegas series. You just have to.
If you don't know who Nathan McKinnon is at this point, shame on you, and start watching him more, because your eyes will not leave him. Like, whenever I first started watching him, I'm like, this guy, I don't know who this guy is yet, but he's skating at a different level than everybody else.
Everybody. And that's saying nothing of what Rantanen just still putting up points in the playoffs, and Landeskog being like the consummate leader out there. And then the depth's tremendous. So we can't say enough good things about the Avalanche right now. I still think Carolina's going to scrap it out a little bit. I don't think they're dead and buried yet. They get the overtime win, and I did say Canes in 7. I don't regret it yet because it's only 2-1. Now it's going to be very hard to get another game in Tampa. It's going to be very hard, but in the Isles have done what I said they were going to do too. I think you guys said Bruins were just going to take it was going to be a cakewalk. Bruins in 5, Bruins in 6. I think you guys said. I think the Isles were going to stretch it out. I think they were going to make it a series, and so far they've done that.
The big question there is what is Trotz going to do with the goalie situation?
Boy, I don't know, because I
could go either way. I mean, it's like however you say his name, Sorokin.
Yeah.
He was on fire there for a little bit, and then everybody kind of fell out of grace with him, and then this guy was the only one that kept him in the game, I felt like, there for a little bit. He played pretty well.
Varlamov had a great regular season, too. He just struggled a little bit against the Penguins because he was coming back from an injury. Now he's healthy, comes in. Boy, he's letting some softies. And the overtime one from Marchand, that was about as perfect a shot as you can make. Like, that couldn't have been anywhere else for it to go. It had to be right where it was for it to go in. And I don't even know if he meant to put it right there. I think he was just throwing a puck on net, but he did, and it beat him. And Varley's glove hand has been a little jarry-ish, a little Matt Murray-ish lately. So something to watch out for. We'll keep an eye on that, who the Owls go with. Appreciate you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed Morency. I know we did. That was a big thing for us. We enjoyed that. Follow along with us on Twitter at That's Hockey Talk. Follow at Bubba Gumpino, at AQ Shipley. Shout out to Jay and Bill for sticking around, for helping us record this late on a Friday afternoon. And Mitt, I think he's back there somewhere too. Appreciate you boys. Follow along with us on YouTube at youtube.com/That's Hockey Talk. We appreciate it. Every view counts. So bang that subscribe button. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Enjoy the games this weekend. And that's Hockey Talk.